Hi, my name is Tina Meier, and I am the founder and executive director of the Megan Meier Foundation. And our mission is to support and inspire actions to end bullying, cyberbullying, and suicide. I started this foundation because of a tragedy that happened to my daughter. Megan was my firstborn child. She was this amazing, chunky, little, happy kid. And about 3 weeks into 8th grade year, Megan came home and she wanted to get a MySpace account. I know most of you are gonna be like, what is MySpace? But MySpace was like Snapchat, like Instagram, like Twitter, like Facebook, like all of those. But this was the big one. I was worried. I wanted to protect Megan, but I also wanted her to be able to be a part of what other kids were a part of. And she started adding friends from her new school, even good friends from her old school. And she was happy. Then about 3 weeks in, she gets a friend request from a boy. All it was his picture, his name, and him wanting to be friends. Megan, this were her words, said, "Mom, can I add him, please? He is so hot." Josh started telling Megan that she was beautiful on her pictures and telling her she had beautiful eyes and a great smile. And this was a boy that she thought was cute. He was saying nice things. And so for her, it felt good. So after about 5 weeks of talking to Josh, it was a Sunday, October 15th of 2006. She was on there for a little bit, and then she got this message from Josh Evans. It was out of the blue. It said, "I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're not a nice person." Megan even looked at me and said, "Mom, look at this. What do you think this means?" I said, "Megan, honey, I have no clue. People have bad days. Just ask him." Megan sends another message to Josh and says, "Hey, listen, what are you talking about? Where'd you get this from?" There was still no response. This was a second message that she sent him trying to find out what's going on. Why would he send something like that? I signed Megan on. There was a message that came in late the night before that said, "You heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be friends with you." Megan said, "Why are you saying this? I'm not mean to somebody unless they're mean to me. And who's saying all of this?" I heard the bus come up the street and I yelled to Megan, I said, "Meg, you've got to sign off. I've got to go." Megan said, "Mom, please let me finish this last message," and I will. Typically, I never did that. I always made sure she signed off, but I was in a rush. I got her sister off the bus and we headed to the orthodontist office. Once I got her checked in, I called to check on Megan. And when Megan answered the phone, she was crying. I said, "Meg, honey, what is going on?" And she said, "Mom, they're saying horrible things." I said, "Who is saying horrible things?" She said, "On MySpace." I said, "Meg, honey, come on. I told you to sign off. Get off the MySpace. I will be home." I get in the door and I yelled to Megan. I went downstairs to see where she was at, and she was still at the computer. And she was sobbing. I said, "Megan, please get up." I sat down to start looking at these messages. These messages went back and forth. Now Josh had 2 other girls involved. And the messages were horrible. The nicest ones that I can say called Megan out. They said, "Megan Meier's a fat ass, Megan Meier's a whore," and those were really the nicest things that were said. I was looking at all of these things going back and forth and these horrible names, and now I saw that Megan was lashing back at them, saying, "I'm not this, you're this." I said, "Meg, we've talked about the war of words. If you would have signed off when I told you to, we could have worked this out." I said, "Meg, you're not any of those things that they call you." She said, "Mom, it's going to everybody at my old school, everybody at my new school. Who's gonna believe me? They're gonna believe them." She looked at me and said, "You're supposed to be my mom. You're supposed to be on my side." I ran upstairs to Megan's room, opened the door, and found that Megan had attempted to take her own life. We called 911. The paramedics arrived. Megan was transported to Children's Hospital in St. Louis. And for 24 hours, it was a roller coaster. Unfortunately, Megan passed away on October 17th of 2006. There are no words to explain the depth of pain. that it was to hold her as she took her last breath. Every dream, every hope that I ever had for her was gone, and I didn't even understand what happened and why. 5 weeks after Megan passed away, it was Thanksgiving weekend, and we received a call from a neighbor down the street, and she asked us to come to this meeting. It was about Megan's death. She wanted to confess that she has been holding on to information for about 5 to 6 weeks now. She told me that our neighbor, Lori Drew, a mom, her daughter, Sarah, who had been friends with Megan since the 4th grade, and another 18-year-old girl created the Josh Evans account, that it was a joke. The reason that they created this account was because they had heard that Megan had called her daughter a lesbian. I don't know if Megan did or didn't. Again, Megan was not perfect. They thought by creating this account that they would gain Megan's confidence and find out if she was talking about her daughter behind her back. The reality is that Megan wasn't talking about her daughter. And for the entire time that they kept this account going, it was a joke. It was funny. And the thing is, I don't think that mom or anybody that had a part of it thought Megan would take her own life. I don't think that was their intention. But those things that you do can cause tragedies to families like mine. I can tell you the anger that we felt, the sadness that I felt, that my daughter took her own life thinking that all of these people were saying things when it was just a complete hoax. The FBI did do a 6-month investigation. They were able to track and find that all of the messages were going back and forth between Lori Drew's house and our home. They said, listen, there's no laws. There's nothing we can do. Get the laws changed. So in 2008, we did get the law changed in the state of Missouri. It's Senate Bill 818, which states, if you use electronic communications repeatedly to threaten, annoy, harass, stalk another person, you can be charged. It's when I really pushed forward 110% with the foundation. Because if I can use Megan's story to help one of you realize the things that you're going through, that you do have a voice, that bullying is not okay, that there is somebody that you can talk to about it, that your life matters. If I can help one of you, then I have made a difference, and that's been my goal since day one. And my hope is through this to get some of us to be able to think about the things that we do, how we treat other people. And if we can create a kinder, more caring world, we can all start saving other people's lives. That's my hope. And it's something that I will continue to do for the rest of my life.